First of all, I love Andy for doing this and getting him back out here and putting him in a different light. We remember the years ago that Eric Bieniemy was on the circuit, and when these jobs became available, he was one of the names that came up. You know, and we talked also about the shadow that the great Andy Reid has cast on him. So people started rumbling about maybe it'll be good for him to go and do his own thing away for Andy Reid. But those opportunities don't always come up in a great way. So you got to take the opportunity that's there. And the Washington Commanders had an opportunity. He took that opportunity to try to, try to open up and expand out and get away from Andy Reid. And that was just, I think, the bad call. Going to Washington where, they were up and down on the quarterback situation because now all of that falls on him. Washington mid-season starts saying, this is going nowhere, let's dump everything, and started dumping. And now 1 year later, this man is out on the street, nobody's talking about him. Andy Reid bringing him in, bringing him around the players. I thought about this, guys. I said, wow, I wonder what this would have been like after winning 2 Super Bowls like they won with Eric Bieniemy. Noah Turner left and went to Washington, same team. Had he come back, after some things went wrong in Washington, we would have welcomed him back. Are you joking? You know why? Because Noah was the real architect of all of it. Noah came in and said, no, Michael, forget what people are saying. You are fast enough to run this system that we're going to run. Troy, no, you got it. We're going to drop back. We're going to get the ball out of your hands by that second hitch. You knew your base was coming back into your camp to give you whatever knowledge, whatever information he has. He built you. He knows everything about what this offense should do. So I thought it was a great thing that you have Eric Bieniemy back. Remember, Bieniemy is the guy that has the reputation for riding guys hard, putting pressure on guys. What do you think they're about to see in a Super Bowl? Nothing but pressure. If they can have it all week in practice or have it even a day in practice with Eric Bieniemy, it will manufacture, it will carry over well on Super Bowl Sunday. I thought it was a great job. It shows the great man that Andy Reid is in trying to help his friend Eric Bieniemy.
Michael, I'll say one thing about the Andy Reid, Eric Bieniemy, Kansas City to Washington situation. Ron Rivera coached for Andy Reid in Philadelphia, so there's a relationship that's there. He said to him, hey, you need an offensive coordinator. EB's the guy. Bring him along with the understanding that you really may not have a quarterback, but he can get him to play well, which he was playing well at the beginning of the season.
He was.
And then eventually the wheels fell off in terms of Sam Howell and what they're capable of doing on the offensive side of the ball. So I think it was a smart move for Eric Bieniemy to get from underneath Andy Reid, because no matter what, you watch these games on Sunday just like I do, and you watch them sometimes with me. Andy Reid could be standing here just like this, doing nothing. Eric Bieniemy can be going 0 right, 62, Z flat, whatever. And the first thing, it's a touchdown. The first thing they say is, well, that was a great play call by Andy Reid. Andy Reid, damn mouth ain't moved. So get from underneath that, because no matter what Andy Reid was saying, he was jumping on the table, screaming and hollering, Skip. Eric Bieniemy is calling the plays. Eric Bieniemy is designing the stuff. Other players in the locker rooms, Eric Bieniemy is doing this. Patrick Mahomes, Eric Bieniemy is doing that. But he wasn't getting the national credit in terms of the National Football League. He wasn't getting that credit. No matter what, they was always going to say he wasn't doing it. But then there's been other coaches out there. Sean McVay has guys, and they say he's calling. No, Sean's calling the damn plays, man. Stop it. But you telling me that Kevin O'Connell was the guy, and he didn't get a fair opportunity and chance like Kevin O'Connell. Now you say, well, okay, Andy Reid says not right now, Skip. We don't have a position right now. He didn't say we'll never have a position. He said right now, we're in the midst of the Super Bowl. I'm not thinking about coaching changes, adding coaches. I'm not thinking about any of those sort of things. But I bring a guy in right before an AFC Championship game to give us what we've been missing, which is that fire, which is that motivation, players got goosebumps on them, according to Patrick Mahomes, because he was speaking to the team as if he was installing the offense like he used to do in the past.
Yep.
In front of the whole team. Okay, this is a coach that's now on the streets. So you say, well...
But right, Keith, right, but he comes back now saying, listen, guys, these opportunities, you won't get a lot of these opportunities. When Norv Turner used to always say to us guys, Norv said to me, he said, Michael, what you have here, what we had, you may never see it again. It's taking advantage of those opportunities right now. He can talk too. I just left another place that I thought could be as good. But I'm telling you, everybody is not on championship on the same page. You can speak to that to make people go in here and understand the opportunity they have this Sunday. It's not always like this, and you may not be here next year. This may be your only chance at grabbing this damn ring. Let's make sure we take advantage of it.
Of course, and Skip, when you look at it with coaches in the National Football League, other coaches in college or whatever the case is, familiarity is important. They're very familiar with EB. They understand his language. He didn't scare people off like he may have in Washington with his coaching demeanor. But you got to think, bringing guys back. Steve Spagnuolo is back in Kansas City. Remember, once upon a time, he was with Andy in Philly. Then he went to the Giants, and he got the head coaching job at the Rams, and that failed, so he's in Kansas City. Matt Nagy was with him in Kansas City. He went to Chicago. He failed. He brought him back. Eric Bieniemy was once with him.
Yep.
And now, all of a sudden, he's speaking to the team in the most important game, before the most important game of this season, which was the AFC Championship game. He allowed him to take the stage and talk to the team. I wouldn't be shocked if Eric Bieniemy, after the Super Bowl stuff is over, is put back in position to some degree. I wouldn't be surprised at all.
All right.
I promise you I wouldn't be.
Okay, well, that would mean that the current coordinator is going to have to be demoted somehow, or here's
what I would say to you as a kiss on the cheeks.
They're going to keep Washington paying them. They're going to keep Washington. We're just going to use them as a consultant. We're going to let Washington continue to pay.
But is the current offensive coordinator by title calling the plays? Or is it Andy Reid calling the plays? Just because he got the title doesn't mean he's calling it. Eric Bieniemy was actually calling it.
Yeah. All right. Allow me to say two things about Eric Bieniemy. I think he did a very good job with Sam Howell because I think he got as much out of him as any coordinator will ever get out of him. He took him as far as you can take him, and he had his moments, as you allude to. And even later in the year, he would have moments in games. He's got some ability, but he only has some ability, and you can only take it so far. Now, when I hear people wonder about, well, Eric Bieniemy interviewed for so many jobs over the last, whatever it's been, 4 or 5 years, and didn't get one, is he a weak interview? No, the truth is he's too strong of an interview because Eric Bieniemy, above all, is his own man. He's a tough guy. He played this game at a high level. He knows what it takes, and he's very outspoken. Remember early on in training camp at Washington, he rubbed all the commanders the wrong way. Yeah, because he's coaching them hard because that's what he does. Well, now we just talked about the new trend we saw in this hiring cycle of owners, GMs trying to seize back control of the franchise. I think Eric Bieniemy is a threat to that. I think he's too strong of a personality for some of these guys to want to deal with. Okay, so now to Patrick Mahomes' point about goosebumps, I got goosebumps when I read about Patrick and the Chiefs having goosebumps because this was, as Michael said, a beautiful move by Andy Reid to just get Eric back on the map somehow, get him some attention during Super Bowl week that he so deserves because he's going to get lost in the shuffle because the jobs are all taken, and I don't know what's going to happen this offseason to Eric Bieniemy. We talked about it a couple days ago. But the point is, it was a dicey situation because, Michael, you talked about Norv Turner. What if you had brought him back from Washington? Well, you had a coordinator, Zampese, who would be protective of his turf. And I'm sure Matt Nagy, I'm not a big Matt Nagy fan, but whatever. He has been a head coach in this league somehow. And he is the coordinator this year. And you better believe that when Eric was brought back in to sit in meetings, I don't think Matt Nagy would love that because it's protocol that you're in control. You're the coordinator. And that would be, if you're going to protect your turf, I think Andy had to manage that situation by reassuring Matt Nagy, no, it's Just let it be. Let the players like him. You're still in charge. You're still the coordinator. But that was a dicey situation that Andy had to work with, even though the players respond great to Eric Bieniemy. Now, next year, okay, if they lose the Super Bowl, would it be a surprise to me if they fire Matt Nagy and bring back Eric Bieniemy?
But firing Matt Nagy does nothing. He's not also calling it, Skip.
Okay, but
and remember, but remember this also, guys. There were rumblings, and it was just a rumble, and it was a small rumble. But people were saying Andy Reid may win and walk away. Now, is Eric Bieniemy back in the building because of those possibilities? Is Andy Reid bringing him back in the building because he, those possibilities? You know what I mean? We have to put that in place too. Because if anything, I know they're not going to say, okay, Matt Nagy, you can take over this. So there's a lot going on out there. I know you won't say that. You know what I'm saying? So let's just be real there. So that's something to think about too. But I just like what he's doing and taking care of his guy. I like that.
Right now, as Big Red said, Andy Reid said, not right now. Okay, not right now. Because in the end, coaching vacancies are still available. Okay, the assistant coaches could go. Maybe Matt Nagy goes to Seattle as the offensive coordinator. Maybe that's, who knows what's going to happen. I just think that he'll get another opportunity and he'll start back in Kansas City again. Now, what title he'll get and all of those sort of things, I have no idea. But I can almost assure you, because think about it. What happens to Josh McDaniels when Bill Belichick, come on, man, come on back over here. You get fired, come on back over here. That's what they do. Familiarity. They just know I can work with this guy. He helped me accomplish so much in Kansas City. I'll be a damn fool not to find a spot for him on this roster, or better yet, on the coaching staff.
So, Michael, we talked about it yesterday. Andy Reid is 65. If they win this Super Bowl, that'd be 3 in 5 years. Patrick's probably going to play for at least 10 more years, if not 15 years. It's just going to be hard to walk away from that. You got the best situation in all of football. So it's just hard. Despite the rumblings, I just don't buy it.
No, Andy Reid ain't going nowhere. I told you that yesterday. If he stopped eating cheeseburgers, then I'll tell you something different.
Right.
That ain't going to happen either.
Well, it's a perfect match. It really is. These two together, Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. And Andy Reid has played and done coach quarterbacks in great over the years. But Patrick Mahomes take everything he does to another level. And but I still, you never know. You never know. And maybe this is him trying to say, Patrick, I'm going to leave you in good hands and bring it back to Bieniemy. So you never know.
Okay. Thanks for watching, Undisputed fans. Do you want more highlights from the show? Make sure to click that subscribe button for all the exclusive content from Undisputed.